I saw this little boy take a brain rot quiz
What is that?
where it was all the internet phrases and slogans in 7 questions. And it
Okay.
was like, out of all of them, I didn't know any of them. And it made me feel a lot
What
better.
were they? Oh, well, that's so good to know.
Like, do you know what skibbity is? And like yacht and like mule? Like all these
No.
phrases. I'm like,
Skibbity? Well, I know about Skibbity because of you, because you told me about Skibbity Toilet.
that's all I know. But
And that's
like,
what Skibbity means, right?
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
so before we begin today's podcast, obviously, y'all who love to watch online, but about 60% of you have not subscribed yet. Isn't that weird?
What are you doing? Why are you not subscribed? It's so easy to just hit the subscribe button. It's right below the screen. You can hit the subscribe button. You can hit the little bell button. That way, every time there's a new episode, you get notified that there's new tea to be spilled by Zack and Andy.
And you don't want to miss any episodes whatsoever. But obviously, subscribe. And let's get into today's episode. How you doing, Miss Ma'am?
Good.
What's new? How's your I want to say Memorial Day weekend every time, but it's Labor Day weekend.
What's the difference between Memorial Day is when we remember the fallen men and women that have served our country, and then what is Labor Day for? Pregnant women?
No, not working. Which
Why?
Here's the thing about Labor Day.
What is the point of Labor Day?
People still have to work on Labor Day. There's still like
I
places
still worked on Labor Day. I don't understand what the point of Labor Day is.
to celebrate working. I would say
To celebrate the labors?
the labor that we give and the labor we should have off, like the time off we should have.
I don't get it.
I don't either, because like grocery stores, other places, like, what if we did a national shutdown day?
Yeah, and then they have to work even more because then everyone wants to have a barbecue to celebrate them not working, so the people that are working have to work double.
Here's to you people who had to work on Labor Day. That's all I have to say.
Quit your job.
Or not. We might need it.
Go on strike.
I went to San Diego for the day to the beach. I went to a nude beach for the first time ever.
Oh, how was that?
That's a wild time, I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Lots of things were seen. Lots of things. I felt more, I think, content and happy with my body than ever before. And it was a lot of self-love. So if you ever have a chance to go to a nude beach, it is a righteous moment for yourself.
I feel like the people that go to nude beaches and like fully expose themselves are the ones that like, are very confident in themselves.
You know, I will say it was kind of cold. It was a little nippy.
Well, yeah, you're by the water. It's breezy.
It was warm, but also I was like,
It's
just a little chill down there.
Little
Maybe because I'm not
chilly.
used to the sensation of being exposed like that. But anything fun for your day of no labor?
Not really.
I like that for you.
Nothing exciting. I did a Pretty Little Liars rewatch binge.
I haven't seen any of that.
You've never watched Pretty Little Liars?
I'm watching Sex and the City for the first time.
Oh.
So,
Well, I
like,
watched Pretty Little Liars when it came out, but now I went back and I'm rewatching the final season.
my first boyfriend was obsessed with that. Like,
Pretty Little Liars?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Lucy
It
Hale
was
and
so
everything.
good at the time. Like you were, and then when I started rewatching, I'm like, what a stupid show. It's so soap opera-y. And then you get hooked, and I'm like, now I'm hooked all over again. I was like, I already watched this 10 years ago, and now I'm
Back in it.
reinvested.
Speaking of being reinvested, you put in something in our Hot in the Headlines that you knew before me. You know me, I'm a Selling Sunset girl. You were a Bravo kid. Like, kind of sounds like an iPad kid, but different. What is going on with Selling Sunset? Because I saw a few things about this when I read, obviously, the story you put in. But what's happening? I don't understand.
It's a hot mess. So the new season comes out. I believe it drops this Friday, September 6th.
We're already in September also.
Oh, God, shut up. And so new season 8 comes, and they released the trailer a couple weeks ago, which we discussed on the show. And so I guess in this new season, there's this new rumor that comes out about Emma. And we now know that the rumor is about Emma.
Okay.
And so the rumor is being spread by Nicole Young. And so we don't know many details. There's speculation on whether or not the rumor is about her being a homewrecker, or it's possible that the rumor is about her being like homophobic in some way. So what the exact rumor is not clear. But so Chelsea and Chrishell, Emma has not spoken out about it, but Chelsea and Chrishell went on their Instagram stories over the weekend and they made several posts calling out Nicole, saying that And not just calling out Nicole, but also calling out Adam DeVello
I
and
saw.
the production company, saying that, they're essentially letting Nicole go on the show and lie about Emma with whatever. She's
Right.
running with this rumor. And I guess Emma was blindsided by it because we see like a bit of it in the trailer, but I guess there's a lot more to it. And Emma wasn't aware that this was being put out there until recently. So she feels like she didn't have an opportunity to even defend herself against this false rumor.
Yeah, I also saw that Chrishell posted in her stories saying that she would rather be sued and would quit like the show rather than work with someone like Nicole on this type of production, which is a very bold claim to say, like, you'd rather get sued, like, to stand the ground of whatever this is. Like, we don't know. Also in the past, have you seen all the seasons of Selling Sunset?
No.
Okay. So Chrishell and Nicole don't have a great history. And I think Chrishell in the past has accused Nicole of lies, like at the reunion and other parts and pieces.
Yeah.
I think from what I remember, Nicole was someone who was potentially in the running for the first few seasons of the show. She was part of the Oppenheim group for quite a few years, like, like Mary and other cast members.
Mm-hmm.
But basically...
Well, they did also bring up Mary and Bree.
Oh.
I guess for being friends with Nicole.
Got it. So Chrishell said that Nicole has consistently talked ill of her and spread like false narratives about her behind the scenes and more. But I remember Chrishell posted a series of screenshots in a previous season after the season had aired, saying that Nicole had reached out to her once she had gotten asked to be on the show, saying, "Hey girl, I want some advice. Like, can you show me your tips and tricks? Like, I know obviously like you've been in this for a while. Would love to know like any pointers and what you recommend." Yeah. So Chrishell was like, "You really flipped a whole 180, like on, trying to come on this show and trying to make something relevant." I know the Selling Sunset franchise has definitely had a couple ups and downs.
Yeah.
With cast members leaving, cast members being on. I've run into some cast members in my neighborhood. Wild. But that's very interesting to see when we don't know what this alleged rumor is. And the fact that we're already getting a lot of social media buzz from the actual cast members before this has aired, which means two things. Either they've seen the season or they have not seen the season since it's aired or before it's aired.
I don't think they stopped showing the show to them in advance. Mm-hmm. I guess I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming they just saw whatever was in the trailer, and from there, I'm sure some of the other cast members revealed details of what happened. But
they've had a lot of crossovers too from other seasons of Selling Sunset. So we have Selling OC, and they had a lot of the cast come in and out. There's now a San Diego office, which there might be, I'm assuming, some sort of San Diego franchise.
San Diego.
And so we don't know what this next season is going to entail, what's going to come about of this, but it has been a very successful franchise for Netflix. It's been number one for quite a few times on the platform when it's debuted. So people are still consuming it, whether it's from the homes or from the gossip. But we might see something. I mean, we haven't seen like a big, I don't want to say bombshell in a Netflix TV show that's reality in a while, but this may be something.
Well, not if it's a lie.
Well, should we move on to some music?
Let's do music mayhem.
So what type of music do you want to talk about today?
Chaperone.
Jewel's supportive of her. If you didn't see that, Jewel. Okay.
Nobody's talking about Jewel these days.
Anyway, you know how it was just Brat Summer and now we're in September?
Mm-hmm.
It is now.
It's pumpkin spice latte season.
No, send it back. Please send that back.
It's a little too early for that.
It's like, I don't want it.
Way too early for pumpkin spice.
I'll try it every year.
Also, why are we still doing pumpkin spice? Like pumpkin spice is so played out at this point. Like we don't need to keep it going. Like Trader Joe's goes full pumpkin spice. Like
absolutely.
Everything pumpkin spice.
Do you get your pumpkins from the front of Trader Joe's like me for like $2? Absolutely. But they have like little gourds and like a whole section anyway.
Okay.
Brat Summer has passed.
Okay, Brat Summer's passed. So what are we in now?
People are suspecting that we're in like autumn, girl, fall. Some people think that Brat Summer is going to turn into Brat Fall. But Charlie just posted on Instagram, "Goodbye, Brat Summer." like everyone's like, okay, it's gone, it's done. But she then posted a photo of 2 torsos that said about fucking time, and it's her obviously in one, and you can see a male in the other, and people think it is Troye Sivan.
Well, because they're on tour together, right?
They're about to do the Sweat Tour.
Yeah.
So people think this is allegedly them promoting the Sweat Tour.
It's going to be a sweaty fall.
Or people think it is a remix for the single Talk Talk on the album.
Probably.
So we could get a brat fall or like a subtle brat fall.
It's going to be a sweaty brat fall.
A demure brat fall.
Shut up. No more demure and no more Brett Summer. Annie, stop trying to keep these trends going.
I saw this little boy take a brain rot quiz.
What is that?
Where it was all the internet phrases and slogans in 7 questions.
Okay.
And it was like, out of all of them, I didn't know any of them. And it made me feel a lot better.
What were they? Oh, well, that's so good to know.
Like, do you know what skibbity is? And like yacht and like mule? Like all these phrases. I'm like,
Skibbity? Well, I know about skibbity because of you, because you told me about skibbity toilet.
That's all I know. But
and that's
like,
what skibbity means, right? Isn't it about the toilet?
I don't know.
Skibbity is like bad. Well, I was watching TikTok videos like trying to learn like the terms that people like the current term. So Ohio's one of them. Do you know what Ohio means?
No.
Ohio's like not cool. Like, oh, you're so Ohio, because I guess nobody likes Ohio.
I mean, I'm from Pennsylvania, and that's accurate.
So Ohio means like not cool. I still don't know what skibbity means. Riz, do you know what Riz is?
Girl, exactly. This quiz was sending me, and I was like, I don't know what the hell Riz.
Well, this is just like
charisma, right?
I guess. Yeah, I would assume so, and I'm assuming that's where Riz came from.
Do you know what the Rizzler is?
No.
Exactly. This quiz, like,
what is the Rizzler?
It's a person.
Who is the Rizzler?
We can come back to
I
this
know
another
the
time.
Riddler.
No, different. Anyway,
but yeah, I was learning a lot. That's all I remember. That's all I retained, though.
I know I have a lot of random internet sensations of like brat, like demure, like I am surface level of brain rot culture.
But that's still like millennial. I feel like these other terms are like the more like Gen Z TikTokery people.
Girl, come tell me what mewing is in another episode, and I'll get back to you.
I don't know what mewing is. That I don't know.
But that's what's happening with Charlie. People also, from what they saw,
mewing.
I know Mewtwo from Pokemon Pass. People think Lady Gaga is releasing her first single in October for LG7 because she posted a photo that has people talking, and Popgrave picked it up and more. But it's this like script of like an event. It looks like it says September 3rd, welcome dinner. Wednesday, September 4th, like fad world premiere and press conference. But it then says date importante, and it says October 4th, Joker in theaters, XX October, LG7 first single. It's very it's very like up. It's someone's run of show, but it's just dates, and I think she's trying to cause chaos because there's some sunglasses. This Hotel Cipriani.
Yeah.
So people are losing their shit. They're like,
when was the last time we had like a? Was it when she was doing the Bradley Cooper
the movie? Like Shallow?
Yeah.
The single. I don't remember when the single came out.
But that album, what was that? Remember with the pink hat? Wasn't that her last album?
No.
Oh.
It's okay. You'll get a pass.
What was her last album?
Chromatica.
Chromatica?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
That was in Pandemi Lovato.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was supposed to do all these.
What were the Chromatica songs?
Rain on Me.
Rain on Me. Oh,
911.
No.
Chromatica was not my favorite.
Chromatica was not good.
People have also been seeing that like she's been in studio and she's had a guitar, and everyone's like, please don't repeat Joanne. Like, please don't.
Was that what the hat,
pink hat?
The pink hat was Joanne? Mm-hmm. What was a good one off of that one? What were the singles in there? I'm on the deep end. That's watch as I dive in.
I think like
I'll never meet
Joanne was
ground.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. Joanne was
bad.
It was different. There were a couple that stood out to people, but the only one I can really like say charted were like Million Reasons.
Oh, I'm giving you a million reasons to let me go. I'm giving you a million reasons to quit the show.
She had Hey Girl, which was good with Florence Welch.
I don't remember that at all.
That's fine. Grigio Girl. There were a couple like
Don't
silent
remember that.
sleepers, but it was an interesting one.
Sounds like the whole album was a silent sleeper.
Other news, Rosalia is also working on an album.
Who's that?
Oh my God. Zachary.
Who is Rosalia?
What is your ethnic background again?
I'm Hispanic.
And
Rose.
you might need to be stripped of that card because Rosalia's, she is Motomami. She performed at Coachella. She has been linked to Jeremy Allen White.
She looks boring.
Okay, lots of opinions from you already. So, in a cover story with High's Nobriety, the Spanish pop singer, okay, she said she's working on a new album, and she said it's been a process, but, you know, she said she's changed a lot. She's wrapping her head around some things, and...
What songs does she sing? Sing one for me.
Girl.
Exactly.
I saw her at Coachella, and she did an amazing set, and when she was going through her Motomami album in 2022, she had all of these, like, biker helmets and motorcycles, and she's like, I really just wanted to encapsulate this fun, like, badass girl theme. And you probably recognize her from the chewing gum meme where she was like doing her jaw, like all, I'm not doing it right now, but she also lately teamed up with Blackpink's Lisa for a song called New Woman.
Okay.
So people love Konotura. Like, you probably don't know it anyway.
I don't.
If
What
I
is
played,
that? A song?
da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da, da-da-da, da-da. I'll get you educated in music sometime. But she is working on new music, and everyone's also more than excited about that.
Are they?
You stop raining on my parade. Something
You're excited. Say, I'm excited about this new music.
I personally am excited. One thing you actually might know from this music lineup before we go into other stories is people think that Crumble Cookies is teaming up with Sabrina Carpenter.
Okay. Why?
So I don't know how you feel about this, but a lot of celebrities have been partnering with, you know, CPG brands to like do smoothies, to do like ice cream, like Sabrina did with Van Leeuwen.
Yeah.
What's your take on like the products that people do, like the Air Ones and stuff?
I think they're fun. I mean, I would have loved to have tried her espresso ice cream.
Anything else?
I think they're fun. If she does a crumble cookie, I mean, what, like the Hailey Bieber smoothie? I mean, that was very successful.
That's straight up sugar.
Listen, it's successful. People are still going and getting the Hailey Bieber smoothie.
The Hailey Bieber. That is the daughter's name. I mean, I just don't want to pay $24 for a smoothie anymore.
It's dumb. I don't know why smoothies have gotten so expensive.
It's LA. It's Erewhon. But
yeah, Erewhon's ridiculously expensive for no real reason.
Have you had crumble cookies before?
No.
I don't know the hype. I don't understand the hype. I'm not a cookie person. Maybe that's why. But
I love cookies. I've never had a crumble cookie, though.
So Crumble Cookies shared a post, which is now no longer up, with a lipstick emoji and an image of one of their cookies. So people speculated because the caption said, quote, "Me when my friend says they want a mini and sweet treat." And she is short and sweet for her album. So it could have been something, an unofficial parody. Maybe it's been taken down because it's not an official collaboration. They said, take that down.
Yeah.
Don't know, but I'm kind of like, how do these partnerships work? Like, do they hit them up, say, like, we want to make a cookie, we want to make a smoothie. Do you approve this price? Or do they have any control of that price?
I mean, a lot of the times it's really just like the creative that they come up with, and everything else is out of their control, and they get paid like a flat rate for the deal. It's like a brand deal.
It's like a brand deal.
Yeah.
A brand deal with Crumble. Well.
Are you going to be buying the crumble cookie?
I'll try it. I'll give it a toot.
What do you think it'll be?
It's short and sweet something.
An espresso cookie?
I would get an espresso cookie.
An espresso cookie sounds delicious.
That sounds...
She needs to do like an espresso martini something.
Oh, a line with an espresso for espresso?
No, like an espresso martini. Like Sheena and Katie partnered with Chili's for an espresso martini, and they did like all these promotions to promote Chili's espresso martini.
No, I think Nespresso needs to partner with Sabrina Carpenter and team up with them and wrap an espresso like they do with Xboxes and like fucking Halo and shit. You know, they wrap an Xbox, you're like, limited edition Mario Xbox.
Yeah.
Well, that's Nintendo. Anyway, before we get into our watch or skip, I want to go into our general news
Okay.
because you dropped something in here that, from where I've seen everywhere, is top story, top headline. It's not in our hot in the headlines, but we don't know a lot. Do we know a lot? What happened with Miss Amy?
She got arrested.
That's it. End of story.
Do you know the 1,000-Pound Sisters?
Yes.
Okay.
The TLC show is very popular and people have kept on tuning it over the years. Or have they dropped weight, changed their lifestyles, the whole 9 yards.
Yes. So Amy's one of the 1,000-Pound Sisters. I wonder how much they collectively weigh now.
Try being
no
my
longer
size,
1,000
Amy.
pounds. Yeah.
Mm.
And she's like, I think I'm pregnant. And she's like, why do you think you're pregnant? She's like, I don't know. I've been thirsty for water. I've been craving water lately. And then her sister's like, bitch, you're not pregnant. You're dehydrated. And then it turns out she was pregnant. She has 2 babies. And so anyway, she is not with the baby daddy, but she was arrested at a zoo.
Okay. I'm just gonna let you explain the story first.
Okay. So police were called because apparently somebody got bit by a camel.
That's where I saw this camel come in.
Okay. That's the only time you're going to hear about the camel. Because we then completely divert from the camel altogether. They show up. Well, actually, I don't think the camel bit Amy or this guy that she was with.
Try being bit by a camel, Amy.
I think they showed up because somebody had allegedly gotten bit by a camel. But then when they got there, there was this smell. A very...
from the vehicle.
Yes, a very... I mean, I don't even know
like marijuana or like...
Well, it doesn't clarify what the smell was, but there was an obvious smell, an obvious odor coming from the vehicle where Amy and this other man were. And I'm assuming the kids were with them because they were also arrested for child endangerment. So in the car, they found they were Schedule 1 and Schedule 4 drugs.
What does that mean?
So, yes. So, a Schedule 1 drug is basically...
like marijuana?
Marijuana, LSD, heroin, like...
heroin's
street drugs. Street drugs.
Okay.
Street drugs where you don't have a medical purpose to be using them, right? Like, nobody's using LSD or heroin or marijuana.
We'll have to
because this was also... I fact-checked this morning because this is in Tennessee where it's still illegal. Pot is illegal, so that's why it falls under the same class as heroin and LSD.
These are the questions I Google after when I see something. I'm I'm not looking at the crime. I'm looking at like where's Schedule 1 crimes.
That's a Schedule 1 drug.
Got it.
Then there were also Schedule 4 drugs in the car as well. So here's where it gets interesting, though. But go ahead.
You are already naming some pretty hefty things in Schedule 1. Schedule 4, it's like being bumped up like 3 upgrades of like your room service. Well, what is that?
This is what the classifications are interesting to me because a Schedule 4 drug is one that is less likely to be abused in Tennessee. That's how they classify a Schedule 4 drug.
So is this backwards? Like F5 tornado is like up there and Schedule 1 is like
sounds like
low?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
So these are like Valium and Xanax. So like prescription drugs. But I'm like, those I feel like are the most, like people are actually addicted and abuse those very commonly. I mean, unless things are different in Tennessee. Well, not in the zoo, but I'm assuming maybe they had...
like you bring your Xanax to the zoo?
I mean, if you're on Xanax, you keep it in your purse.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of always keep it with you. But so they had both of these. I'm assuming the Schedule 1 drug was marijuana. And they smelled the marijuana because that one has a very clear odor. If you're doing a hot box and you're getting high in the car, you can smell the marijuana, on like marijuana you can smell. You can't I don't think you can smell heroin. Or I don't know what heroin even smells like.
We are not experts. We would not know, and there is a good reason for that.
Yeah. But so I'm assuming they smelled some pot. They checked it out. They had pot. Pot's not legal in Tennessee. And then I'm assuming they searched the car and then found maybe a bottle of Xanax, maybe a bottle of Valium. I don't know. This is all our speculation because we don't have the exact details of what they found. We just know there were 2 types of substances that were in the car, which is what they were arrested for, was possession and then child endangerment. So I'm assuming
because of the drugs.
Yes, they had the kids, and I'm assuming they were smoking the pot in the car, so they were doing drugs behind the wheel with kids in the vehicle.
Were they parked?
Yes. I'm assuming they were having a hotbox moment. They were just smoking out in the car. Who knows if they were even on, because these were possession charges. We don't know if they were actually taking the Xanax or whatever they had on them. I'm just assuming it was the weed. It was weed that they were smoking.
Maybe they said, you want to go see the pandas and smoke a blunt before?
Maybe. But then meanwhile, they're paying attention to this hotbox car and somebody got bit by a camel somewhere.
Yeah, can you imagine? I'm going to go check out this camel bite. What's that car? Which, okay, so to break this down, first of all, Tennessee, get with it. I get that part.
There are a few states that still haven't legalized marijuana.
The heroin part, don't know her. Don't know that. The Schedule 4 stuff, unclear. Up for like jurisdiction and
it's
assumption
just weird
of opinions.
that those drugs are classified as like the drugs less likely to be abused. I mean, I guess because they have prescriptions, maybe that's why they would consider them less likely to be abused because there's regulation. Whereas Schedule 1, those are street drugs.
Oh, that's sad.
But so she got arrested, and it seems like this is going to affect the custody of her kids.
Oh my gosh.
But she looks rough in that mugshot.
Girl,
look at her. She's not even looking. She's like confused. She's like, "What's going on? Pot's not legal."
Maybe she's
like, "Have you not seen my television show?
Maybe
do you know who I am?"
Maybe she could be on one of the Schedule 1 drugs during the time of that mugshot. We don't know.
She could be on, as Andy said, she could be on heroin.
Didn't say that. On our couples corner, before we go into our watcher skip, because we have some other highs I'd like to get to.
Okay.
Oh, I don't like that I said that.
I thought you were doing that.
No, I didn't mean to. What is this about Miles Teller celebrating something?
Oh, he celebrated his 5-year marriage anniversary. They were engaged for 5 years. They got tattoos on their fingers, which I think her mom was against because the mom doesn't like tattoos, and now the mom's cool with it. Or, well, actually, the mom has no other choice.
When you say
it's
a
her body.
Tattoo on the finger, that's like painful. Number one.
Yeah,
Number two,
it's just a little band.
Oh, they tattoo like a band on their finger?
Yeah, like a ring.
Oh,
they got like a ring band finger.
I don't know if I'd want that.
Well, that's like their commitment to each other
because
it's their 5-year anniversary.
I just don't know if I want that. That's bone. Like when you get a tattoo.
No, yeah.
I have one tattoo on me.
Yeah.
And if you have ever gotten a tattoo, you know that's painful as shit. And when people go, "Oh, where you want to get a tattoo?" They go, you picked that spot. You picked the finger like Miles Teller? Good God, girl. I don't know what they did to get through that, but happy 5 years because that is locked and loaded and that is a painful experience.
And the removal process is also painful, so let's hope they stick it out. But it was weird because even though they are celebrating 5 years together, she just re-proposed, or she proposed to him.
Got it.
Last week.
Okay.
She's like, we've been married for 5 years. On our 5-year anniversary, you say that men never get proposed to, so I want to propose to you on our 5-year anniversary.
That's fun.
And then she got him like a big boat.
There's always a boat involved. There's always a freaking boat.
Yeah.
How big's the boat? Is it a Paris Hilton size boat?
I don't think it's that big.
Well, in other news, let's talk about our watcher skip to finalize this episode because we have a bunch of things that are in the works, some things that haven't gotten release dates, some things are looking for distribution deals. But Ellen Degeneres is obviously...
Still canceled.
You said it. Gearing up for this final comedy special set, and Netflix will be releasing...
So have they filmed it yet?
Yeah, so she did the entire tour already. She did.
Oh,
she
got
did
it,
the
got
tour.
it, got it, got it. Because I was like, I feel like I heard about this a while ago. So she did a tour and they filmed on the tour, and then now it's going to be released. Well, because they've been doing it differently. Like Joe Rogan just did his Netflix special, and that was live.
Oh yeah, didn't they have issues with the live ones?
I feel like they always have some sort of tech issue with the live streams because they're essentially live streaming on Netflix, which is weird. But yeah, he live streamed his show.
So she's being...
And they did the Brady roast live stream too.
Right. So she's discussing being kicked out of show business, which this has been the headlines for a while. Yeah. She talks about like everything that had happened, her return to comedy, and people who attended, you know, like they do agree. Like she did discuss these things. She talked about that the quote that came out earlier was, quote, "Yes, Portia really is that pretty in real life. Yes, I'm going to talk about it. Yes, this is my last special." So she's like, I want to just say my piece and be done, it seems like. But here's the log line for this.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in 6 years, Ellen DeGeneres returns to the stage in her new comedy special, Ellen DeGeneres, For Your Approval. The final comedy special of her historic career, Ellen gets personal and reveals what she's been doing since being, quote, kicked out of show business. From the mundane world of raising chickens in parallel parking to the harsh reality of becoming a brand name celebrity, she goes deep into her stand-up roots and brings laughs through life's most real and absurd realities. So, again, I feel like we've heard this a couple times. She's going to address it. We don't know how it is addressed. I haven't really seen much in the media except for like she's talking about it. Maybe they made everyone sign an NDA.
Probably.
But, you know, in 2022, everything came up about the show. We will see what she does address and what she does not address, and how she handled everything, even going into COVID. Like, that was her last bit. Like,
yeah. I will watch. I liked her last special, Relatable.
really?
Yeah. I thought it was cute.
It was fine.
I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the Joe Rogan special.
Oh my God.
So, which I didn't think I would, because I didn't particularly find Joe Rogan all that funny in his stand-up. And when I saw like the previews and the clips of it, I was like, oh, this doesn't look like it's going to be good. But I actually really enjoyed the Rogan special. But with Ellen, I also enjoyed her Relatable special. And so I look forward. I think she's very witty. I think people will tune in because they want to see how she addresses her cancellation, which obviously she's not going to address it in a serious way. She's going to make fun of it. But I predict that this will be her foot into her next talk show.
I predict that she's going to be done after this. And then people are going to put out multiple news tabloids of things that people said behind the scenes, working on this special, working on the tour with her. And I think she'll probably say a couple more things and be done.
No, I think she's going to do. No, I think this is going to be her comeback. I don't think there'll be any scandal of what it was like working with her, because I feel like at this point they probably have a crisis PR on hand already, just making sure that there's the same way there's been no leaks of what's in the content since she's been on tour. I'm sure they're, trying to go above and beyond to make sure that the experience working with her has been nothing but lovely. And I think that she's probably going to end up striking a deal with Netflix for a talk show. Same way David Letterman did it. Same way Oprah's, continues to do these like sit down interviews with Meghan and Harry. Like, once these talk show veterans leave the game, they usually find a way to come back. And I think, even though she obviously ended up with the scandal, I think this comedy special will set her up for a new style of talk show. And I think it's going to be very similar to David Letterman's talk show on Netflix.
A whole new world. Interesting. Well, we'll see. Aside from that, Peacock...
She's not done.
Peacock's also not done, because they said, hold my beer. They are now trying to compete in the live comedy special space, tying into what we just talked about with Ellen.
I don't like the live comedy thing.
I don't know if I do either.
I like the schedule, the pre-taped ones.
Yeah.
I don't like the live stream comedy shows.
I mean, SNL obviously is a sketch variety show.
Yeah.
So it still has a good place in my heart, even though some writing sometimes needs some work.
No, a lot of their writing has been terrible. SNL hasn't been good for years.
But the hosts, Michael Che and our favorite homeboy, Colin Jost, are going to be hosting a special called New York After Dark on September 12th. There has been no lineup of official announced guest stars or anything else of the sort, but they said it will be very much similar to live stand-up. So that's going to be interesting how Peacock said, we've been in like late night, we've had like talk shows, like we are missing out on this stand-up market.
I don't think there's much of a market there.
I think people enjoy a pre-taped stand-up special.
I mean, I guess it's smart numbers wise, because like I understand like live streaming on YouTube, and you do get greater engagement when you live stream versus uploading something that's pre-recorded, because there's like the engagement piece and people want to feel like they're part of it. So I think like when you do have like the Brady roast, like the Rogan special, I feel like people have a time and everybody knows to go and watch at that time. And so there's kind of like that collective experience of we all have this on our schedules. But I think the more that happens, the less likely it's like reinventing live TV just on a streaming network. It's like we're taking it back to the very beginning of when people would wait for something to air at this time, on a Wednesday night. But I think when it comes to like live comedy specials, it's just not, I don't know. I could be wrong. And in 2 years, we may have nothing but live comedy specials. It's just not really my thing. And I think the luster is going to wear off soon.
Okay. Last but not least in our lineup of stories, we're going back to animals.
What's going on with the animals? Did you see what is the animal lady right now?
What animal lady?
The one that everyone's
the
talking
chimpanzee?
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what we're talking about?
No.
Oh.
Have you watched that though?
No, but I keep seeing people tweet about it.
Before we actually continue though, would you watch any of these stand-up specials? It seems like a no or yes.
I said yes.
To Ellen and to the Peacock one?
I said yes to Ellen. The Peacock one, I don't know if I'm that interested in Colin and Michael. Again, I don't watch SNL. I don't think SNL is particularly that good, but no, I won't watch it.
So we're not talking about the chimpanzees, but thank you for your hot little watcher skip.
So we're skipping the chimpanzees is what you're saying.
Do you want to talk about it?
I have nothing to say other than people are talking about it. People
I don't know.
It.
I haven't seen much.
I'm not that interested. I just saw people were talking about it. I didn't know. I felt like you were up to date on what's with it in
chimpanzee and Tiger King producer world.
Sure.
Yeah, I will watch, but I do not know much. I will report back maybe next week.
Okay.
But Ben Stiller's coming back to acting. It's been 7 years since he has acted, but he shot a movie called Nutcrackers on a farm in Ohio. It's a comedy. Really? And yeah, like this is his first time back from acting, and it wasn't intentional, he says. It's kind of like evolved. But, the production, on the second season of Severance stalled, the actors and writer strike. And because like Nutcrackers was produced and financed outside the studio system for the same production, it received like a waiver for unions to shoot. So this has been like in the works for a while, but the movie happened like in a time where, literally the only time he could have done it. A few months later, he couldn't have done it. So yeah, he said there's this gap, which I don't know what he's really doing too much lately. But
I feel like a lot of them, like even what's her name, Cameron Diaz is getting back into acting. Like everyone took their break, and now.
So the kicker is of this, like there is no distribution rights to this yet. They're gonna shop this around and see who takes it, but it should be interesting. I mean, like I love to see big stars come back, like Ben Stiller, like Night at the Museum, amazing. Dodgeball, like amazing. Like he has some staples, and I think
Meet the Fockers, or Meet the Parents, which became Meet the Fockers.
Right. Yeah, he's got a pretty good like legacy. Cameron Diaz, what's his name? Who played Austin Powers? Michael Myers.
Was that Michael Myers?
Yeah. I'm having a moment. But I think people are having these like notable times in their career comebacks. And I think like people kind of need it. They may kind of need it. The distribution deals were a little different back then. Was it Michael Myers?
It was Michael Myers.
Cool. I was like, I don't know why I'm saying this. Like,
we haven't seen him in a while though.
But he's coming back for Shrek.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm like, where's his nod to come back to?
Well, there's not much to do for that.
Well, anyway.
It's just the voice. Well, so then Cameron Diaz is coming back for Shrek.
Yeah.
Okay. And Antonio Banderas and Eddie Murphy.
It's not been confirmed about Puss in Boots for...
How dare they?
That character. So... But that's our lineup for this week. I have a lot of things that I will be keeping an eye out for, but I, in other news, have been watching more crime docs.
Fun.
So that's been keeping me at bay. I have Sex and the City I've been watching. So there's a hodgepodge of things, and I want to go back and watch American Horror Story Coven.
Really? Was that the Lady Gaga one?
No.
What was the Lady Gaga one? Because everyone said the last good one. Oh.
Coven was the witches one.
Got it. And people liked Coven.
People loved Coven.
Yeah, Coven was good. And then, but you didn't watch Delegate.
I watched. Is there a new part coming out?
It already came out. Part 1 and Part 2 already dropped.
Part 2 already dropped?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear much about part 2 then.
There wasn't much buzz around Part 2.
Yeah. I feel like they pull in a lot of good stars, but like then the storylines kind of fall flat sometimes.
Yeah.
So, in my humble opinion. But it's been a fun week. Already kicking off the gates. We had a nice little break. We're in here, back at it again.
Back at it again.
What's coming up for you in the future? We're going to a Coke and Oreos event
on Thursday.
So maybe there will be a fun little status update for next week in studio when we sit with each other and talk about Oreos and Coke in the product world.
Do you eat the cream out of the middle?
I eat the whole thing.
Like that, right? You don't lick
bite
the
it.
cream. You don't open it and then lick the cream, right?
No,
I never liked people who did that.
Crazy girl. Don't do that.
Do you dip it into Coke?
No. Ooh. Well, maybe that's what we're going to do. But until then, Zach, I'll see you soon. And you stay rested. And hopefully there will be less labor in your upcoming week, too.
Okay. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
All right, bye, everybody.